What's good, folks? It's KnightmareFrame here with a new Warframe video, coming at you with a Trinity guide along with builds. So Trinity is the best support in the game. Yes, she is the epitome of supports within Warframe, and for those who don't know, she is one of the best tanks in the game.
Wait, hold up. A tank? This guy clearly doesn't know what he's talking about, right?
For those who want to know more, stick around. Her first ability, Well of Life, Trinity turns an enemy into a bullet sponge, and any ally that attacks this bullet sponge, percentage of that damage will heal the attackers. When she casts this ability on a target with full or low health, its HP will be fully restored and multiplied and become suspended midair. The effect of the target will expire when it heals a certain amount. Unfortunately, this ability is redundant when you take her fourth ability into consideration. Moving on to her second ability, Energy Vampire, or commonly known as EV. You stagger a target and have it pulse out an aura that replenishes your energy per pulse. And while it's stunned, the target takes true damage. True damage ignores any form of defenses. For example, bleed procs and finisher damage are classified as true damage. Killing the affected target will grant you a burst of energy. Duration affects the energy pulse. The higher the duration, the longer it takes to receive the energy. A lower duration will have it rapidly pulse out all of the energy. The third ability, Link. Trinity will link herself to the three closest enemies and reduce incoming damage by 75% and redirect that back to her attackers. She redirects 100% of the incoming damage and status effects. You're immune to status effects along with staggers and knockdowns, and redirect them back to the attackers, having them end up being knocked down and staggered. You can be linked to a maximum of 3 targets, and you need to be linked to at least 1 to receive the defensive attributes. And finally, Blessing, the strongest healing ability in the game. Trinity restores shields and health and grants allies and herself damage reduction, which caps at 75% with 150% power strength, which stacks with your Link and adaptation, making you a beastly immortal tank with infinite energy and status immunity. The great thing about Bless is that its range scales of affinity radius rather than range mods. The damage resistance from Blessing and Link also apply to overshields, so this is what makes her the best support and a damn strong tank. Now, there are several builds out there, and these are modded to my playstyle, so you can tweak them however you want. So the first build will utilize Abating Link. The third ability, Augment. Enemies linked to Trinity will have their armor stripped. You would need 223% power strength to get that 100% armor strip. And please, don't be dumb and use corrosive rejection with an Abating Link build. Just please. Also, another great interaction is when you combine Link with Cautious Shots. So yes, you can equip this mod on the Excellus slot of your favorite melee weapon like the Penta, Czar, and Ogress, some of the best melee weapons. Normally, this will cause your Warframe to stagger, but Trinity's Link allows you to be immune to any forms of staggers and knockdowns, so those two combos can let you wreak havoc. In the aura, you can run whatever you want except corrosive rejection, since this is an Abating Link build, and also no energy siphon because, come on, you're Trinity. Duration at 183% with primed continuity and constitution, giving my Link 21.96 seconds, and Bless at 18.3 seconds. Range at base because Link has the base range of 20 meters and EV at 25, which is damn good. Power strength at 224% with the use of Power Drift in the Excellus, the 2 Umbral mods combined, and a rank 5 Blind Rage to give me that 100% armor strip on Abating Link. Primed Flow for the energy pool because of the negative deficiency from Blind Rage. You can even replace Flow with Streamline, it's up to you. And finally, Adaptation for the added defenses when you combine Link and Bless. But for those who don't want to go this route, you can switch it up, replacing Blind Rage with a max rank Transient Fortitude. This will have you swap out Primed Flow for Augur Message to counteract the negative duration from Transient Fortitude. You lose 3% duration on this build, and Bless drops by 0.8 seconds, which isn't much, while Link remains the same. But the good thing about this setup is that you gain overshields from the Augur set bonus, and damage reduction applies to overshields. And in the Arcanes department, for this build, I have Arcane Avenger for the additional 30% crit chance when we take damage, and Arcane Aegis to replenish our shields by 60 points for 20 seconds when you take damage. And of course, for those Energy Vampires and Elite Sanctuary Onslaught Leechers, yes, I know who you are, those guys that join ESO as Trin to get free XP from from a Saren and extracted zone 2 or 1 if your kitty gave you that juicy buff. So this build will be utilizing the augment Vampire Leech. Basically, all the access energy will replenish shields and grant overshields. The shields fall off pretty early unless you have some damage reduction. So taking a look at the most boring way to play Trinity, the press 1 button build. The EV Trin, the aura can be whatever you want except energy siphon because please, come on, don't be dumb. And yes, corrosive projection is super viable for this build. I will focus heavy on having negative duration and decent amount of power strength along with decent range, a max strength, fleeting expertise, and transient fortitude to drop my duration to 12%. This will give my energy pulse duration 1.12 seconds, granting everyone within range 52.25 energy per pulse. Having redirection in Vampire Leech will take my shields even further beyond. With 235% range, my EV's radius is at 58.7 meters. But then there is a different setup where you can get even more energy per pulse but slightly sacrifice range. With 190% range, your EV radius will fall to 47.5 meters, which isn't bad at all, and you will dish out 63.5 energy per pulse. The EV builds exist for people who gave up on life and want to press one button non-stop. Yeah. I recommend running Vazarin as your focus school for this setup. And of course, everyone knows Trinity to be the lure queen in Eidolon hunts. In this build, there will be no augments used, and yes, I do have 2 Trinities to efficiently build for every situation. The Eidolon Trinity will focus heavy on duration and ignore range because Bless scales off affinity radius, and the only thing you will do when you're in your Warframe is gather lures and press 4, which will be 10% of the time. For more information on Eidolon hunts and Trinity's role, do check out the Ultimate Eidolon Hunting Guide series. So in the aura, you will have corrosive projection. This is a must. Always have this aura as a Trinity in Eidolon hunts. In the Exilus, I have Handspring, helpful for the knockdowns in Eidolon hunts. But you can also swap to Coaction Drift. In most cases, you don't want to run Coaction Drift. Power strength is at 155% with the 2 Umbral mods combined to get that 75% damage reduction from Bless. And duration is at 254% with narrow-minded and primed continuity, giving my Bless 25 seconds of damage reduction. Natural talent is very important to have. It makes your Bless instantaneous, which is super important in Eidolon hunts. Streamline for the efficiency, Rolling Guard and Adaptation for the added defenses, especially when you're caught off guard from the Gauntless lasers and the random AoE damage from the Hydralisk. It's better to keep yourself alive to keep everyone else safe and topped up. And finally, dual arcane nullifiers for the 80% magnetic resistance. With this setup, you can face tank the energy spike from the Eidolons if your hero forgot to press 4, which is quite a lot if you think about it. And with your Bless, you can keep everyone alive. And the final build isn't for everybody, but it's just for those who want a little extra. The Super Face Tank Trinity. This build is a lot more expensive and arcane dependent, but you can still pull it off using normal versions of the mod. So this is the Tankerin setup. It's built heavy for shields, decent power strength, and duration. Having Augur Message will grant overshields, Primed Vigor boosts my shield cap even further when paired with Redirection, and having damage reduction with a lot of shields, especially with Arcane Aegis and Barrier, your shields are not gonna go down anytime soon. You can replace Primed Vigor with a normal one. This will have you gain more duration by using Constitution instead of Augur Reach, but still have a good shield pool. And that's it. These are my Trinity builds. I do showcase and test out interesting builds on my stream. Be sure to stop on by, say hello, chill, ask questions, lurk. It's all good, man. So this has been it for me. I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to leave a like, share, and
subscribe.
For more Warframe content, streams, and so much more, do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.